Okay, what I've got here is my sending unit from my 51 Studebaker. It says Borg or Stuart Warner, made in USA. Got it all polished up and moving as clean as I can. Problem is, its gas gauge isn't working. Looked at it, the floats were bad. They were all soaked up. So I tried to put some floats on, that didn't work. This didn't work. So now my next idea is to put this on there. Take this, tack weld it there, maybe just put some real thin wire here, just keep it in line so it's not moving. But while I got it set up, I was testing out to make sure that the unit is correct. The sending unit is correct. So what I've done is I'm testing resistance now. So I've got my meter set up for ohms, and we've got voltage going in to where the sending wire from the tank goes to the gauge, and then we've got ground on the body. You got to make sure when you put these things in that the screws that mount it into the gas tank are grounded. If the gas tank's not grounded, those won't be grounded, you won't get a reading. So when you screw them in, check that to the bumper, someplace you know is a good ground. So here's what happens when the gas gauge is fully empty. We'll assume that the float's not even functioning at this time. We're reading, about 97 ohms. Now, that's probably around close to about 9 o'clock. But in this position, we'll call it 3. So, at 3 o'clock, we're running 97 ohms. Now, I'm going to slowly pull this hinge down, and you'll see how the resistance diminishes. It's not real smooth, jumpy a lot, but it averages out okay. So now we're down to 30, 21, 15, 14, 9, and about 4 or 5 ohms, pretty much straight to ground when the tank is full. So let's take it back, make sure it's about 4 there. We're running up 20, 40, 50, 70, 95. So the range is between, let's say, 3 ohms and 100. 3 and 100. Okay. Well, average that out to 1 to 100. So that's not my problem. So the other thing I checked is I checked continuity to make sure that the wire from the tank sending unit here goes through the body up through to the gas gauge tank sending peg, which is on the top of the gauge, and make sure that it's not broken and it's not grounded. So I did that, and that's working. So next thing I did was to put 2 jumpers on the back of the gauge itself. When one of the jumpers is to the terminal called IGN for ignition, and that terminal I gave it 12 volts. Now this is a 6-volt gauge, but it worked at 6 volts. Well, I had a step-down transformer in there that would drop 12 volts to 6 volts, actually to 5 volts, and then that was powering the unit. And then the unit eventually went bad. I'm not sure if the voltage converter went bad or not, but I took a battery and hooked it up to the gas gauge, and that didn't help at all. So I think the gas gauge is shot. Next step is to try to find a 12-volt gas gauge that will fit into this little, I don't know if this is going to work or not. Maybe we'll see. Right, this section right here is the gas gauge. These units pop off, and I go in there and try to get a 12-volt unit. It looks like that from the back, that from the front. It goes right there. Wish me luck.